Hey guys, welcome to Tiny House Customs. I'm Dan. If you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I put out new videos twice a week right now. That could change in the future. We'll see how things go. In this video, I will be finishing my mortise and tenon joints. I will make these fit in nice and pretty together. So right now I need to remove all the material that was left from the saw blade from the dado stack that I had. It was just a slight radius on the bottom right here. I'm just going to use a lot of chiseling. And instead of filming it, I'm going to do this right here, this time lapse. And I'll add some music. So, what do you say? Let's jam out, guys.
I've been sleeping with the lights on, buried in regrets, breaking into sweats, naked as a falling leaf. Well, it's a natural reaction, driven to distraction, clawing at the ghosts I'll never meet. Oh, and I don't know where they go when they vanish in the corners of my eyes. And I don't know why, I don't know if they stay below or rise up to the sky. But I'm letting go, I'm letting go.
So I finished chiseling out and making my mortise for the tenon to go in. And I've been doing a lot of research on how deep a mortise needs to go in to a piece of wood. And I really can't find much information on it. I've read that the width should be 1/3 of the total thickness, which I think I'm exceeding by just a little bit, but that's okay. As far as the depth, there's no real rule of thumb. Since I'm carrying a lot of weight with this mahogany, I'm thinking I'm going to do 1/3 the distance of the width of the board. Now, since this right here is a 1/2 inch, I'm not going to count this 1/2 inch as being 1/3. So I'm going to get a total length here of, what, 5 1/8 minus a 1/2 inch is 4 5/8, and I'm going to take 4 5/8 and divide it by 3. So from the top here, I'm going to want to go 2 1/16. So if I just measure down right here, I know I have to go down about 7/16. So I went to one of them fancy hardware stores, and they had router bits that were the correct length that I needed, but they were $30 for one. And this drill bit right here with a really sharp point on the ends was $5. So I'm going to set this thing up so that it drills to the correct distance. I'm going to make a block that goes on this so it stops at a certain point. And I'm going to use this, and I'm just going to go back and forth along this joint right here. And then I'll come back with my chisel and I'll bring it to the correct distance. If you're filthy rich, don't buy a tiny house. Buy a McMansion. Yeah, McMansion. I want one of them. Those sound cool to me. So I made this block of wood, and I drilled a hole right through the center, and I put the drill bit right through it. Now what this does, it makes a stop for this piece of wood right here. So when I drill down, I'll hit this rail right here, and it'll be at the correct distance. So I'm just going to take the drill, and I'm going to keep zigzagging back and forth to bring it down to the correct depth. Now, since I have about 4 of these to do, I'm just going to go into work mode. Might do a little time lapse with some music.
I'm letting go.
I'll tell you, this is the first video that I've actually had to worry about lighting. I have never had to worry about that stuff. So now that I've brought it down to roughly the dimension that I want, I'm going to go back and I'm going to chisel it.
It's a silent wind that never really blows. I'm letting go.
So I just cleaned that joint up that I brought down to the correct distance, which should be 2 1/16. And I am just a hair shy of 2 1/16, and I ran the tape measure along the length of it on both sides to make sure it was okay, that it was basically flat on the bottom. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this tenon to the distance that this mortise goes in. So my depth, I want 2 1/16, so I'm going to take my tape measure, I'm going to hold it here. You know what, I'm going to have to fine tune this. 2 1/16. Now I'm pretty sure that this cut right here is not going to be perfect on both sides, and I'm going to have to fine tune it. So I might have to cut this again, but I'm going to cut it tight right now, so it'll bring it down to the bottom of this, and then I can figure out where these need to get cut so they're perfect, and then I'll bring this back up.
Dad, I see Mickey underneath the bench there. I want to get him. Can you move it so I can get him, please? I'm looking at it right now. Just let me get him. I want him dead.
Peanut.
It never really blows.
So I'm just gonna go back now and fine tune that. More fun music, what do you say? I hope you're liking the music, otherwise this video sucks, doesn't it?
No, the music really does suck. I really like. No, I'm letting go. I'm done. I'm just gonna let go of your channel. I don't want to listen to music. It sucks. You suck. This channel sucks. Everything sucks. Call me miserable, negative, whatever you want, but you suck.
I'm going to bring it within square on this piece right here. I'm going to check my gaps on this point right here, and that's perfect right here. And this one's perfect right here, which really makes me happy. Oh, you just screwed that up. Pay no attention to that. That was hackalicious. So I hammered this joint in as far as I can go, and I got a little bit more than a 1/16 gap here, as well as on the other side. So basically all I got to do is go back and I can either trim this a 1/16 of an inch, or I could bring the mortise down another 1/16. It's easier to cut the tenon down a little bit, so I'm just going to do that, and we'll see how that goes, eh? After I cut that edge, I'm just going to hit it with a sandpaper and round it over so I don't have any splinters. I mean, I still have a slight gap, but I'm going to show you a trick later how to hide something like that. So I'm just going to go back and clean up this mortise to make sure it's tight all along the bottom here and square to this piece right here. Man, that is f***ing amazing.
No swearing, you fucking idiot. God, you're vulgar. It's disgusting.
I am amazed at how perfect these are.
Rainbow in by my window, rainbow singing at my door, and the Georgia pines and dandelions are bobbing in the...
Does my hair look really bad? I know it does. So I finished fine-tuning all the joints. I made sure everything was perfectly square. I also checked to make sure that this dimension on the inside is the same on all the points, as well as this outside dimension. I checked it for square this way for the total dimension. Also checked the square inside of these. Held the frame of square on this. I checked it multiple ways, every possible way you could check something to make sure it was perfect. All my joints are within fingernail thickness, which I know is not perfect, but to me it's close enough. So right now I've got it dry fit with the clamps on here. So in the next video I'm going to be installing what I've been referring to as the beadboarding in the lower section, and then I have to make some notches in this top section for the window to slide into, and I'll cut some pieces that'll hold the window in. I'd say that video you just watched was probably about 6 hours of actual work that I put into this. Each one of these joints took about an hour to fine tune and make it to the point where it slid in nice. I'm still deciding on what glue I want to use, if I'm going to use glue or epoxy. I kind of feel epoxy is going to be stronger and will be a better choice in the long run, so I might be doing epoxy, even though it's more difficult to work with and you're kind of screwed once it's in there because you ain't taking it apart. But I don't know, we'll still see. But let's do some outros. Outro? The lens is fogged. Sorry, that's not smoke. The lens is fogged.
Bullshit, you're smoking crack. He's smoking crack, guys. Call the cops. He's smoking crack.
So yesterday I posted a video to help support the channel so I could buy new equipment.
You fucking e-bagger. Why don't you just go stand on the corner of the street with a cardboard pizza box saying I'm a broke-ass bitch?
So overall, that has been a success, I think. It'll probably be about a month and a half real time, so I don't know how many weeks for you guys, but soon. The new camera equipment, audio equipment, everything. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you leave your questions down below and I'll answer them in a future video. If you liked the video a lot, please give it a thumbs up or consider sharing the link in your Facebook, Twitter, whatever else you can do. There's all these new ones. I'm just not hip anymore. If you want to jump ahead and watch this entire series, please consider going over to my Patreon account, which is linked in the description below, and making a small contribution to my channel. All that money goes back into projects that I do for you, as well as hopefully on a second builds. So in my next video, I will be making this, what I've been referring to as beadboarding, all this stuff right here, these 3 pieces. You would think that was easy, but it was not. That took a while. So that's next video. Thank you for watching.